Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And we are so lucky. Every other Thursday, the CEO of Hemlane comes on and we just talk tenants, landlords, all of that stuff. So Dana, thank you for being here every other week.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, I get this question a lot. It's actually in the Facebook group. I thought we should just record a quick video on that. And that is appliances. Should you provide them? How do you market them? You know, what you should do. So let's talk about appliances.
Too, because we get it. And my first question is, well, what is standard in your area?
Yes.
Right? Like I have no idea where your property is. What is standard if everyone else, all the other properties that are competitive to yours, don't forget the tenant's going to be looking at multiple properties. If all of them are providing the fridge and oven, why are you not? Or if they're all providing the washer and dryer at the same price as you, why are you not? So I think when it comes to appliances, the big question is, what does your market look like? Mm-hmm. And what makes your property as competitive to those other ones? And so with appliances, you definitely want to do that research and that diligence up front. Some things with it. The first is, once you know what appliances you're providing, make sure you market them. And so when you go and you do your marketing, have photos of them. If you have a washer and dryer, take a photo of it and post that photo, not as the first photo, but as one of the photos in your marketing, because tenants don't read. And so having that, they're like, oh, good, I remember, they're visual. Oh, I remember that one has a washer and dryer plus. And so you definitely want to make sure that you advertise those in the photos you have.
Yeah. And I think it's all about your market, right? In my market with my tenant base, fridge and stove, very common. Mm-hmm. I've had some units up the stack where a stove is required. They bring their own fridge, but that's pretty abnormal in my market. Heating and cooling, I consider requirements as well, kind of the big things. But what do you think about dishwashers and disposals, garbage disposals?
Yeah, that's a great one. Disposals is one thing I definitely want to talk about. Most landlords I know, and definitely my opinion is, actually take those out.
Yes.
Just take it out. Just rip it out.
I'm so glad you said that. I think it was like 5 years ago. I think I bought houses like side by side. For whatever reason, I put them in. I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking. That was such a stupid thing.
Yeah.
I had so many service calls on garbage disposals. I actually had them ripped out. They were fully working. I had them ripped out. That was a pain.
Every year you'll see a tenant put something in. And I think part of it is expectations of a consumer on what a garbage disposal does versus if you talk to a professional plumber. So a professional plumber will tell you garbage disposals are not meant for all the food to go down. They even recommend scrape the food before using the garbage disposal. And it's like, well, then what's the point of the garbage disposal? But I think that tenants forget about, potato peels. They'll put those down there and suddenly clogged right away. Yes, exactly. And so that is just one of the things that you see so often, having to send out a plumber to go get that fixed. And it's expensive. And so it's better to set the expectation.
And no more rent.
Yes.
I never got more rent for a garbage disposal. So any more expenses, that thing is coming out.
Exactly. A tenant is not going to say, I've never had a situation where a tenant has said, I'm not choosing your property, I'm going to choose this other one because it has a garbage disposal. I've never heard that. I've heard that with washing machines. Small kids are like, okay, I don't want to go to laundromat.
Yeah,
with, that's understood. Yeah. But you've never heard with a garbage disposal. And so if you set that expectation of no food down the sink, nothing, you just throw it all in compost. If you're in a city that provides compost, if not, you throw it in the trash. Mm-hmm. No tenant is going to complain about that. But the expectation to a tenant with a garbage disposal, and unless they're a plumber or handyman, your tenant might be a little bit different. Yeah. But if they're not, their expectation is up, everything just goes down the drain. And that is definitely not how it works. And so, I would rip those out no matter what, and, not provide it. And so that one's huge for me. As far as garbage disposals, other appliances, I've also seen contracts written where they say, hey, I'm going to provide this, but it's not standard. It kind of came with the house, like a washer and dryer. It came with the house. I noticed no one else in our area provides a washer and dryer. You might put in the lease contract, hey, you're free to use it, but if it breaks, this is not something we're providing. And therefore, if it breaks, we're not going to replace it. As long as it's written in the lease and also upfront before they sign the lease, you've really made this clear to the tenants that this is expectation, that's okay. But I think that's why it's really important to outline in the lease which ones are provided. And if you say they're provided, it means you're responsible for the maintenance on them.
Yeah, generally speaking, again, maybe it's where I'm renting. I've had that happen a couple of times, and every time a year, 2, 3 year goes by, the tenant's like, "And oh, it's been here. It's part of it." No, we in the lease, it becomes an issue. I actually now will take the washer and dryer out if I buy a house that has
interesting. Yeah,
and I'll sell them or move them to another property. It's just removing a future problem or a future headache.
Yeah. And that's the thing is tenants don't read the lease. It's so important they do, but they don't. So it's like very important that if you are putting that in the lease to like be there with both tenants or however many tenants move in. Okay, see this washer and dryer during the inspection. If this breaks, don't forget your lease states we are not replacing it, or to your point, just moving it out so that there's no expectation of it.
Yeah, the other thing I just thought about, I haven't done this, but I might do it next time. I might actually say, I'm going to sell you the washer and dryer for $1.
Yeah. And then it's just
It's theirs.
Yeah.
I might do that next time. I don't know. Just something that popped in my head, or, $10 or 20, make it nothing. But now that washer and dryer is theirs, it's not mine.
It's theirs, not yours. Yes. And then I've also seen it where in the marketing, they market something and then they don't put it in the lease agreement.
Yeah.
So just make sure everything, you cross your T's, you dot your I's, everything is set up. Like if you're duplicating leases really quickly and you're not checking things, or you didn't put in the marketing, you put in the lease that you had a washer and dryer because you duplicated another property's lease. And then suddenly the tenants are like, hello, you owe me a washer and dryer.
Yeah,
it's like,
what's up?
You do. You really do owe them one if it doesn't have one. So just make sure that you're focused on organization with your property so nothing like that happens.
Totally agree. This has been a fun conversation, one we needed to have. So thanks, Dana.
Great. Thanks, Michael.